I just got in a 70 Challenger. It's a RTSC car, 426 Hemi, very, very rare, one of only 8 made. I'm gonna have Tony go over it with me. This is a little bit like our Daytona Charger that we were trying to determine, do we restore it or don't we restore it? We already know we're gonna restore the car, but I'd really like to get his feedback on some of the things that I think are original that may have already been touched. So it'd be a good opportunity for him to do that and buy me a little time on the disassembly of his car. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT SE 426 Hemi automatic, one of 37. Burnt orange, the white longitudinal, all been on there forever. Look at the reveal from the factory. So here's the style line in the body. Yeah. More gap here, from here to here. Right on it right here.
Yeah.
Back here it starts to show a little more, and look at the gap there. It just means that style line wasn't perfect and that stripe wasn't perfect.
Right.
And so now today, because we got our hands on it, we got to try to make it perfect.
It's like a hand-built deal today instead of assembly line.
Right, right. But look at the interior. See the insert part of it there? See, that's just, I mean, it's great. You know as well as I do, if we weren't going to do anything, this is a miracle.
Yeah, but if you get some kind of cleaner on it, I bet you.
Oh, I think we could. I think we could. What's wrong with this picture?
Gosh.
Let's see if I can get the old toner on this one.
Oh, I see. It's a rim blow steering wheel. It's automatic.
Okay.
It does say slapstick.
What kind of seat belts?
Oh, these are those fancy seat belts.
Deluxe seat belts.
Yeah.
Where's the thing?
Where's the light? See, and these seat belts on the deluxe seat belts, they also have clips on the seats that the other seats didn't.
Right.
For them to rest on.
I just thought it was kind of weird that the seatbelt light,
the fasten
seatbelt light wasn't on the dash.
Yeah, that is odd.
Is it? It's a JS29 car.
Right.
Overhead consolette.
Yeah, it's all there. Headliner folding down.
Overhead consolette with 3 warning lights.
Oh, that's got the seat.
Yeah.
You got it, yeah.
Score 1 for the ice tray, the ice pick, the ice man,
yeah.
Ice cube, shaved ice, snow cone. What would you want for a complete burnt orange interior with these trim panels?
Oh gosh, what is this worth to sell? No seat, dashboard and
dashboard, matching headliner,
that's a $3,000 that's a $3,000 interior all day long.
All day.
You know,
might even be double that because it's original. And where are they going to find one? It would
look
be
at the dash pad. The dash pad's half that money alone.
Right.
Yeah, it is more. You're right. It is
I think you're double those numbers.
Yeah. I hope the owner possibly reconsiders about saving some of the originality stuff on the car. But you know, of course, it's the owner's car and it's his prerogative to do what he wants. I mean, it's a great car to restore, but it's a great car not to restore too. There's a lot to see under here. Early car, no crush ribs.
Correct.
I saw the door was open. It was an October build.
It is, okay, yeah.
Which also, by October, we know that we lost the speed shift, or the shift gate. The shift gate, and it's got slapstick.
Was it speed gate or shift gate?
Shift gate.
Shift gate, yeah, that was an early one.
Original cables, positive and negative cables. It's an extremely good Survivor car. It's not only a Hemi car, but it's a RT SE, so it's a luxury performance car. And being a Survivor is just icing on the cake. Look up top. Look at the fender.
Look at the undercoating.
No, the fender.
Yes, Hemi fender, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually looking for his input on a lot of this stuff. I know about the wheel lips and stuff like that, but you never know. You know, when you talk to somebody at his level, you may learn something. So no, it's not a setup or a stall just to buy time. You know, I got plenty of things to do here, my friend. So this, when you hear, hey, has that got a real Hemi fender on that Cooter or a real Hemi fender on the Challenger? That's all it is that area, in this particular case, it's about 10 to 2, but Tony's saying more like 11 to 1 is the zone that they normally do that in. But that's fascinating stuff.
When Mark goes to restore this car, it'll be so easy because the car is such a good car to start with. You know, reproduction stuff is great. Most of it fits good. Some of it fits better than others, but not too many fit exactly like original parts. It's a good car though, very good original car.
Very nice original car.
I mean,
really nice.
I'd be one for a high detailing engine and transmission go through.
I agree. I think I have to agree.
If it was my car, I wouldn't restore it. I would re-detail the engine and transmission and do a great overall cleaning to the car and interior, and you know, maybe replacing things I had to with original parts. But for the most part, I would leave it alone and just improve it without doing anything that would detract from its Survivor.
So, all right, We did it. That's lunch.
No, before lunch.
Yeah.
Let's go check out my car.
We're gonna check out your car. I have hypoglycemia, dude. I'm gonna take Tony out to lunch. He usually takes a couple hours to eat. He likes to take his time and chew every little bite. That'll buy me a couple more hours on the car. When we get back, hopefully we're in a better position where I can take him out there. But I mean, I'm kind of, again, I can't really go out and check in because he's on me, on my heels everywhere I go. Let's go to lunch. We'll look at your car when we get back from lunch. So at this particular moment, everything is relying on Doug to get that thing apart.
So it's really seeming like Doug's getting the hang of this on disassembling cars. I've got a ton of things to do, so I'm gonna head back over here. If he needs any help, all he's gotta do is yell at me and I'll come right back, give him a hand with whatever troubles he's got. Doug did a really good job on disassembling. I'm actually surprised. I mean, normally when we first show somebody, they always miss a ton of things, but Doug actually got it down and he did a really good job. I mean, there's one or two things, but hey, they're easy things and the car looks great.
Okay, that's it. So I know you got a lot of purple Challengers around here.
That's your car, yeah. You recognize the shellac down the side of it. Absolutely.
Added on a trunk release.
Yeah. That's all your stuff, baby. That's all yours. Take a look, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, look what I see. Somebody's just working on this.
Oh, because there's tools in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug's been working on it. I told you we were in process. I mean, he just...
Process?
This is... Yeah,
in process.
Okay, we don't just take a car apart in an hour, okay? You're looking for somebody else. Look at that. Look at those floors. Look at that. Okay, I gotta ask you.
That's a lot of purple for it.
It is a lot.
A lot of times they didn't go that far.
Just exactly, right. And I don't know why the matting stuff is painted either, because that went on after the fact. That's usually black. But you're changing a couple things on this car, is that true?
Yep. Normally I restore my cars exactly to how they were built on the assembly line. I'm gonna take a couple liberties here. They're not really modifying the car. A couple things like the vinyl roof on this car was originally black, and with a white vinyl top, I think it'll bring out the purple much more. It also had a black body side molding on it, and I'm going to replace that with a white longitudinal decal. So that'll make the car pop a lot more. And we're going to change the seat colors from black to white. Again, I think that's what my wife likes. She likes the purple and white. I want to go with a white bench seat with the fold-down armrest. Yeah, I believe they're much more comfortable.
That's what you were saying. I've never actually driven one, oddly enough.
And they look like buckets because they use the same uprights.
Looking through the windshield, you'd think it's a bucket seat.
You'd have to look physically, in to tell.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
So you'll be getting that. And
white, you said. And so
yeah, we're going to go with white interior instead
of white garnish, white headliner.
I might go with black headliner and black dash and black A-pillars.
Yeah.
White seats for sure. And door panels, I'm not 100% sure about. Yeah, and look, we got the blackout on the cowl.
It is, yeah. I was noticing that the other day.
You got oversprayed black down here. No two cars are the same. Because
that's what they would have done. Is this an N95?
Yes, it's California emissions. Okay. It's N95, and it shows V1X and V5X. So V5X must be the body side molding.
V5X is the body side molding. What did I say? V3, I'm sorry. V3 is convertible top. I don't know what I'm...
okay.
Okay, so I'm tired. Yeah, and then the V1X would have been your black top and you're going white on it. Okay. But the N95, that would have gave you this vapor return line and this 3-nipple breather, which was standard in 71.
Yes, but California was always a year ahead.
Yeah.
When I first saw the pictures, I liked the originality of the car. I mean, heat stove on the exhaust manifold still, not hot rodded.
Absolutely, right.
And it wasn't rotted out.
Right. But boy, the original idler pulley right here, the original protector for the heater hoses is still there. That's the stuff that's hard to put back on, so people don't usually do it. Oh, and somebody changed the fan blade out.
Yeah.
And the clutch is gone.
I can't see all the way around, but I'm not seeing anything that's showing me that these belts aren't original. Look at the belts. And you've done AC cars before, so you know the AC routing. And matter of fact, one of the first cars I looked at, it was another purple.
It was.
A sunroof car Challenger with AC.
So, no, that car didn't have AC.
Oh, that one
That one didn't. Little Kimberly Cook's little Barracuda was an air conditioning. That 72 Charger was an AC car.
Right. Look at the body stamping here. Isn't that different?
You want me to educate you on that?
Yeah,
you already know.
I know it's Los Angeles.
It is, and that's the whole different. You go out in that lot right now, even though there's no nomenclature anywhere about this. They put it in the same spot on the upper cowl panel, whether it was a Hamtramck or LA.
Right.
But the difference between a Hamtramck and LA on the core support is the numbers. We just looked at that Challenger a little bit ago. Remember, I was having a heck of a time and I was walking the light because I was trying to see between the radiator. Well, the Los Angeles cars, the E-cars, they are all up here really easy to see. Oftentimes underneath the sticker, and it looks like it probably was at one time.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a very, very, very nice car. I'm really looking forward to working on that, getting that. And not for you, because you're a pain in the ass. Cindy, she's an angel. Hi, Cindy. You're the best.
When can I show up with the keys?
Oh, I have the keys here. When's it gonna be done? You know what? Damn soon, my little friend. Damn soon.
Got that.
Yeah. Don't timestamp this, anybody.
Well, finally got to see the car after chasing Mark down most of the day and had me running all over the place. And it has been taken apart. I don't know actually how long it took it to get here, but I sort of have a feeling that something was going on today to make it happen a little bit faster. When we put it up in the air and I saw some of the fluids coming out of the car, the radiator coolant, and you could tell that the mess on the floor looked very, very new. I didn't think it had been apart for too long. This was just taken apart. Look at this.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. No, the car's been hit. Do you know what gravity is?
Yeah.
Okay, you know water seeks its own level?
That's 24 hours.
I can show you a pie chart where
but what if
odd
you guys
versus
clean
equal,
up at the end of the day?
And it reverses. You know what reverse polarity is, right?
Yes. I know what BS is too.
It's a shame.
I'm happy to see that there's some work being done on it, that has been done on it, but I would have been happier to see a little bit more disassembly on it and closer to getting to be dipped and, back into the body shop and get ready for paint.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
That's an original.
And look at the date, 3049, and the other one in the back was 3039.
Oh, it's 3039 on the other
muffler.
car. Why?
And you just said you never had another car.
I have not. I don't
exhaust.
know if I've had one of these come in yet, of all that junk that we've done.
And here's the 440 or Hemi.
Yeah. So it's got the right rivets in it. Oh my gosh.
Same vendor code. The other one was a Y22. This is
was
Y21.
a Y22.
Yep.
So I wonder what, like I say, I guess just different vendors.
Yeah.
There's your Pentastar right there.
Yep.
I love it.
And look, it's faint. There's some on the pump.
Oh, there is. And that's got a 10.4 on it, a 104?
10 something.
How about that?
One of the biggest bonuses I saw in the car was that car has original exhaust on it. A date-coded original exhaust. And when Mark and I earlier were looking at the Hemi Challenger, he had mentioned that that was the first car he ever had here with original exhaust. And here's the second one. Well, really, my car may have even been here before that, but these are the two cars he's ever seen with original exhaust. So that's sort of cool, and that's a really tough thing to come by. Made me smile. How about the mufflers?
Oh, they are. They sure are. Now this is interesting here. At a glance, when you look at that one, you look at the other one, they look the same. But this is obviously a replacement part.
It's later replacement.
In fact,
you can see somebody welded to the jump over.
What is it, 3413, 4930? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 1 digit extra from a part number.
Interesting, yeah.
Now how about this side?
And yet over here, let's see if we can find some numbers on that. Oh yeah, up here, here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Oh yeah. Now this one's the 304th day of 69.
And that matches the...
that matches your...
this is 304th day also.
Yeah.
So this resonator and muffler were made the same day. No undercoating on the car.
No undercoat car, but pretty solid.
Very.
And how about that sway bar?
Yeah, that's funny. I'm on here, I'm hanging on it. That first of all, 440, 6-barrel, and Hemi cars couldn't get a rear sway bar.
Nope.
But this isn't even an E-body rear sway bar. This is a late B-body rear sway bar.
That's like a 73 or 4 or something.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
I do want to add a factory E-body sway bar.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't blame you. It makes them drive nice.
And you're going to have to notice where it goes on the frame
Somebody
rail.
added that on there off of like a 73, 74 B body, this sway bar setup. So we'll put one back on it off an actual E body. Look at the problem with it.
Oh, it's hitting.
It's actually hitting right there.
Yeah. I'm sure you've noticed on the E-body frame rails, on the rear frame rails, if it didn't have a sway bar, it had the little pilot holes for putting
just a pilot hole.
Right, but this is an early car before they had the sway bar.
Didn't even know
there's no pilot holes.
Oh, okay.
So when I send you out the sway bar, you're gonna have to check.
Oh, sure enough.
car.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, the AARs hadn't even been thought of. DAs. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's smooth as glass right through there.
Yep. See, being that this is an early car and a disc brake car, it got 3 valves instead of 2 like the later cars got. I think around December is the drop-off. And there's no lockout linkage because it's column shift.
Right.
So you don't have any of that.
You go into park, you're there.
Same oil pan as the Hemi 6-packs and skid plate, because it had the deep oil pan. You can see it comes down to the bottom.
70 and 71. So I'll tell you, overall, pretty damn nice car, buddy.
Good car to start with.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take you long. I'd love to pin Mark down to a date, but I know he's got a lot of other cars going on, and you know, it's probably going to take another good year before it's done, but I think I have to make more surprise visits on Mark.
Do you stop working the time thing? You know what, there are people that have been here 4 years, okay? So just take it down a notch.
I've had cars, this really replaced another car that's been here 4 years.
You know what? I know what you're doing and I don't like it. That's gonna be great. So make sure you tell Cindy we're working on her car.
Well,
Everything's gonna work out.
She's gonna love it.
Flism flasm.
She's gonna call you next time.
Flazoo. Hello Ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Cars. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Alice!